It's not often I make friends. People have steered clear of me most of my life. The few people who've had the courage to befriend me eventually drifted away. When I asked why, all they ever said was, "I don't know." The more I'm around you, the more uneasy I feel. One day, I was approached by a girl my age.
Hi, I'm Clara. I just moved here. Want to be friends?
Her approach had caught me off guard. But I was never one to look a gift horse in the mouth. I agreed and introduced myself.
Cool. I live down the street. Do you want to come by and check out my new room?
Clara offered. Sorry, but I'm busy right now. Maybe later? Clara kept a smile on her face, but the look in her eyes bore a sense of frustration.
No problem. I should go unpack anyway. See you later.
As Clara skipped away, I couldn't help but think how weird our brief interaction was. I then decided to ignore the creeping feeling she gave me, thinking of all the times people avoided me for these same feelings, and went about the rest of my day. A few months go by, and Clara and I become best friends pretty quickly. I got to help her unpack the last of her things, and she followed me around at school and kept me company as often as possible. She was a very sweet person, which is why I was shocked about the conditions on how our friendship ended. One weekend, Clara invited me to go camping in the nearby woods. And since I've always wanted to go camping with a friend, being the nature lover I am, I agreed without any hesitation. I've come to find that Clara is a very lucky person. So when she said she knew of the perfect camping spot, it didn't surprise me. When we got there, I shuddered in shock at the scene that lay before me. Around the already lit campfire was a pentagram drawn in the dirt, and burning over the open flame seemed to be a human arm. Before I had the chance to run, Clara used a baseball bat and knocked me out.
When I came to, I found myself tied down in an abandoned room, filled with demonic symbols and an actual satanic cross. In the middle of the floor lay another pentagram, this one being sealed in a circle.
Good morning, bestie. It's a great night to sacrifice the souls of the innocent to demons. I'm so glad you came with me, because now I'm one step closer to becoming Satan's bride. Oh, how demons love the taste of innocent souls.
She rambled with a menacing grin across her face. She then pulled me by the hair and with rusted shackles chained me to the floor. I fought as best as I could to escape, but Clara was stronger than she looked. Once I was chained down, Clara started chanting a spell. She seemed confident in the words she spoke, but her chant, being in an almost lost language, made me realize what was truly happening. I've been studying this language since I was young, so hearing her broken dialect merely caused me to burst out laughing at her own idiocy. I looked up at her with a grin. You poor fool. My outburst caused Clara to stop in her tracks. Do you even know the words you chant? Let me guess. A demon promised you all your heart's desire in exchange for innocent souls, right?
Of course that's the deal. If I prove my worth, then Satan will take me as his bride.
Her voice began to shake, which made my cackle grow stronger. And why would a demon, a creature that is pure evil, want an innocent soul? Oh, how demons have fooled humanity so. That made Clara waver with concern.
What's that supposed to mean? What do you know anyway? You're probably just trying to trick me into letting you go. That's it. You're just trying to trick me.
That's when I began chanting in the same language myself. Once I finished, the shackles that bound me shattered into pieces below me. As I stood up, Clara stared at me in horror. You see, Clara, I began as I started to circle her. Innocence is a form of light, and light is toxic to demons. But if they can corrupt an innocent soul, then that would make a bountiful feast. I now stood behind Clara as she started to shake. Even without seeing her face, I could tell there was a look of struggle with the denial of the truth I had laid before her.
No, you're lying. That doesn't make any sense.
Clara claimed as she finally turned to face me.
Everyone knows demons crave innocent souls.
Unfortunately, no. That's just what the demons want us to believe. I then kicked Clara's body into the pentagram. Then, as if finally finished waiting, a demonic force took hold of the now screaming girl. Right before my very eyes, an invisible force stripped away Clara's skin, leaving nothing but muscle and bone. As her eyes began to melt out of their sockets, a demonic voice began to address me.
Stay out of our way, Estraga Licht.
It warned before its presence disappeared from the room. After departing, what remained of Clara melted into the floorboards. The fact that there was anything left at all means that there was nothing for the demon to harvest, which in turn rendered her useless to demonkind. Because despite all she's done, there was still too much innocence left in her. I then began to clean up and cleanse the room I was standing in. If there's one good thing that came from all of this, it's that I now have a place to practice my craft, away from the eyes of the misunderstanding. Besides, very few understand that both humans and demons don't care at all for the likes of witches.